girls here tonight. That's going to be a treat. We have all sorts of little dancers here tonight at halftime as well. That's going to be fun. We have games, we have prizes. It's just going to be a great night, including this playoff game here at Eastlink Center. All right, I said that we're going to need you here tonight. We really are. So I want you to give me your best cheer right now. All right, now I know you're just warming up. I know you're just stretching. You're just getting ready here. That wasn't too bad. Let's do it one more time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Storm fans, that's what we're going to need. Please welcome to the court our very own Storm Chasers dance team.
I ain't got time for you, baby. Either you're mine or you're not. Make up your mind, sweet baby. Right here, right now is all we got. A little party never killed nobody. So we gon' dance until we drop. A little party never killed nobody. Right here, right now is all we got.
Glad that you made it. Look around, you don't see one person sitting down. They got drinks in their hand and the room's a buzz. At the end of the night, maybe you find love. They chit-chat of the things I got and my stout reputation of keeping it hot. It's the party of the year and my master plan is to make you realize I'm your man.
Get live underneath the moonlight. Hot it, top it, paparazzi. Hold on while I take this flick. Speak easy, rocking the feathers, I'm breezy. Hope you can keep up, boys, 'cause believe me, I'm the beast. A little party never killed nobody. So we gon' dance until we drop. Let's go on. A little party never killed nobody. Right here, right now is all we got. Oh, a little party never killed nobody. So we gon' dance until we drop. A little party never killed nobody.
Ladies and gentlemen, our very own Storm Chasers dance team. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd ask you to please stand and join with Island Idol contestant Bridget Blanchard in the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Bridget Blanchard, ladies and gentlemen. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our ceremonial tip. And performing the ceremonial tip here today is Regan McCauley. He is the ambassador for the Autism Society of Prince Edward Islands Stats Charity Golf Tournament, and as well, Stats Carranza, the founder of the Autism Society of PEI Stats Charity Golf Tournament. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our ceremonial tip, and now it is the Guardian game ball delivery. Tonight, the game ball is brought to center court by Guardian carrier Oliver Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, the Autism Society of Prince Edward Island is our charity of the evening. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here is the starting lineup for the visiting team, the St. John Millrats. From Memphis, Tennessee, out of the University of Texas, El Paso, a 6'7" forward, number 24, Jeremy Williams. From Mobile, Alabama, out of Tulane University, a 6'5" guard, number 23, Johnny Mahan. From Long Island, New York, out of Kentucky State University, a 6'5" power forward, number 5, Kenny Jones. From Lynn, Massachusetts, out of the University of Massachusetts, a 5'11" guard, number 12, Anthony Anderson. And from Boston, Massachusetts, out of the University of Maine, a 5'11" point guard, number 1, Raheem Singleton. The head coach of the St. John Millrats is Julian King. Assistant coaches are Randy Loatman, Paul Vaughn, Jim Palmer, and Aaron Drummond.
Good evening, Prince Edward Island. How's everyone this evening? Are you set for some awesome playoff action? In this first game of the playoffs? Yeah, are you excited? I'm excited. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Well, I'm here to introduce to you tonight's starting lineup for your Island Storm. Starting out, playing the position of center at 6'10" from the University of Southern Illinois, all the way from Carbondale, Illinois, number 50, Nick Evans. Playing the position of shooting forward, 6'6", coming to us from Clayton State University from Lake Wales, Florida, number 15, Brandon Robinson. Playing the position of point guard, 6'1" from Virginia University, all the way from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, number 13, Sammy Zaglinski. Playing the position of power forward, 6'8" from Chico State University, from Chicago, Illinois, number 6, Mike Martin. And last but not least, playing the position of guard, 6'1" from Texas Tech University, all the way from Houston, Texas, it's the Texas Tornado, number 2, Nick O'Corey. This star-studded team is backed up by head coach Joe Salerno, assistant coaches Mike Leslie and Eric Hard Work Labor, team manager Mitch Rowley, head trainer Ralph Ming, team trainer Laura McCluskey, and strength coach Dave Eli McCacker. So now, folks, I have to ask that question. I know it's been a tough one, but there's a storm a-coming. Can you feel it? Yeah. There's a storm a-coming. Can you feel it? There's saw a storm a-coming. Can you feel it? Then take cover, 'cause the storm is here.
Ladies and gentlemen, your officials for today's game, Al King and Dan Patterson.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the NBL playoffs. We are here in beautiful Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island, for what will be, no doubt, an incredible series between the Island Storm and St. John Millrats. I am Brett Poirier on the call tonight for what is Game 1 here from East Link Center. It is a Thursday night NBL matchup. This is the only game on the calendar tonight, so we know lots of fans are tuning in. I want to start off by thanking everyone for joining us here tonight. And now, some good news for the Storm. Their lead-in scorer, Brandon Robinson, is back in the lineup after missing several weeks with what was a bit of a hamstring injury, a little bit of a tweak, and of course the passing of his great-grandfather. He was away for a week, but now he is back. Now, unfortunately for the Storm, they lost Mike Williams. He will be required to have a season-ending ankle procedure done on him. So I guess you take the good with the bad if you're the Storm in that case. And for the St. John Millrats, I was talking with GM Ian McCarthy before the game, and they are fully healthy and ready to go. And this St. John Millrats team hasn't played very much over the last month, only a few games in really about a month's period. I think Ian said there was 3, so they've had plenty of rest, lots of time to think about this series against the Storm. And the starters for the Storm, you have Sammy Siglinski along with Mike Martin, Nick O'Corey, Brandon Robinson, and Nick Evans. Here's Mike Martin underneath. He flips it in. And the St. John Millrats starters on the court, there is Anthony Anderson, Kenny Jones, Jeremy Williams, Jay Will they call him, along with Johnny Mahan, the former Storm player also, and Raheem Singleton. So the Storm are going to get the the basketball back. They're already up 4-0 here. And just a reminder, you can connect with us online at Brett Poe or at Brett NBA to connect with me, and to connect with the Island Storm, it's at Island Pro Ball on Twitter. There is a 3 from downtown. B-Rob sticks it, and the Storm are finally off to a hot start. 7-0 after a minute and 13 seconds. We'll be right back here at East Link Center.
Ladies and gentlemen, time to think about exactly who is helping you manage your money. Today, more than ever, you need to be certain that people you depend on for advice have the wisdom to help you navigate all types of market conditions. For over 80 years, the Investors Group has been helping Canadians plan, for financial security by providing quality financial planning advice and superior investment options. Call Andrew Hughes or Tim Butler, 902-566-4661.
All right, Eastling Center. Time now for the Wendy's foul shooting contest. We have Jake Romero and Gabe Smith right now lined up to take some foul shots. The winner is going to get a free combo from Wendy's. Whoever sinks the most free throws in 24 seconds will be the winner. On your marks, get set, go. Feel free to keep making some noise, Eastling Center. Still. Oh, we got to get one on the board. One on the board. You need to get one on the board or you're sharing a combo. There you go. Some more noise, Eastling Center. Let's get behind your Island Storm.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Investors Group has a booth and table set up down beside the Storm Center. Go on down, fill out a ballot. They are going to be drawing for $10,000 later on this year. So fill out a ballot.
I call it the Brandon Robinson effect. He misses 2 weeks, he comes back. What does he do? Hits a three, first thing. So that is your lead-in scorer for the Island Storm, just about 19 per game, and they sorely missed him. The Storm have lost five consecutive games. That's their longest streak since 2011. That ball travels out of bounds. It's going to go to St. John. Mike Martin says, no, it's not, but the official says, yes, it is. So inbounding will be Mahan. And he's going to get it into Williams, guarded by Martin. Mahan's trying to post up on Okori, and Okori draws the charge. Okori saw that one coming. He was actually, before Williams lowered his shoulder, you could see Okori look down to see where his feet were. Very smart play.
That'll be the team's second.
Now here is Zaglinski. He's been playing well of late. They kind of expect Zaglinski actually to get into that triple-double category just about every night. He did it a few times in Ontario, and I mean, myself up here, I can see Zaglinski getting 10, 10, and 10 any given night. He's so talented, and he's a rebounding guard, which is something you don't see very often. Here's Nick Evans, second chance, gets it. The Storm up 9-0 in the early going here. Now Singleton up top. Kenny Jones with it. He's got Evans on him. Evans right into his body, and Jones couldn't get it. Here comes Robinson. Two Millrats stop him. He's going to hand it back to Zaglinski, who gets it to Evans. Can't get the end one to go. Talking to head coach Joe Salerno before the game, and he was very adamant that this is a game. Because it's the first game, of course, it's important, but someone asked him how important it was, and he kind of laughed at the question. He said, well, it's very important. This is a game that we have to win. A Storm, of course, on that 5-game slide. And you don't want to give up your home advantage in this series by dropping the first game. Right now they're up by 9, a really good start. Only about 2.5 minutes into this game, and really offensively they are flowing. But a huge problem with the Storm in their recent slide, the weather has really dampened their ability to have practice time, and that's something that, of course, any playoff team would need to have on a regular basis, and it really interfered with the schedule. St. John 10 on the shot clock here. Jeremy Williams underneath, a lot of contest from Robinson. Zaglinski hands it off to Robinson. He gets right to the hole, scores it. Just like that, the Storm are up by a dozen here. Only 3 minutes into this ball game. St. John ice cold to start. Here is Singleton. He gets in, and finally the first points of the playoffs go for Jeremy Williams. Robinson says, I can take that. He can't get it that time. Evans flying in. And now on the other end, quickly back. Nice catch by Mahan. He gets the 2 points to go. And now St. John on a little run of their own. Brandon Robinson leading all scorers so far with 5. He hit a 3-pointer to start. And now we already see Zaglinski and Singleton get into it down low. You can see that Robinson is stepping in between the two now. So that'd be a very interesting matchup going forward. Zaglinski's pushing him a bit. Singleton doesn't want much to do with him. It's pretty early in the game, so if this is already going to be the scene at this point, I can't even imagine what it's going to look like later on. Nick Evans underneath with the slam.
From Mike Martin.
How about that? Nick Evans always frees himself up from the defender. One of the best big men at being able to do this. He's got 5 points in this game early. Oh my goodness. Evans sends double A right to the ground, but Anderson quick up, and he'll take 2 free throws for that.
Storm foul, number 50, Nick Evans. That'll be his first. That'll be the team's first. On the foul line to shoot 2 for St. John, number 12, Anthony Anderson.
So now Anderson steps up to the free throw line. He's a pretty consistent free throw shooter. You'd let him take that. And how about that? You'd let Nick Evans take anything down low. He's so good around the basket. He has developed his game in so many ways, but that is one. His footwork, his speed, and most importantly, his consistency. You could expect a game like this maybe once or twice a season from Nick Evans 2 years ago, but now it's 15 and 10 every night. Now here's Evans working the post up. He throws that one out of bounds, just as I was giving him praise, but Nick Evans still so consistent, and he's really improved in so many ways as a player. Mike Martin, though, giving him a little bit of a tone for that one. You could tell Mike Martin not happy with that pass at all. 7:40 remaining here in the first from Eastlink Center. A little bit of traffic jam near center court, and now here is Cawthorn. He gets inside.
Kenny Jones.
And it was Kenny Jones who finishes those points. 14-8 now. Zaglinski with the handoff to B-Rob, and now Zaglinski frees himself up for 3. Couldn't get it, but Brandon Robinson, the Storm's second lead-in rebounder, gets that one. Evans up top. Kenny Jones tried to pick it away, and Robinson recovers. 10 on the shot clock for the Storm. Evans was calling for it. Zaglinski's going to take it in the corner. That's 2 straight misses for Zaglinski from the land beyond. Here is double A. O'Corey on him. He's been quiet so far. And there's a foul. And how about this? O'Corey hasn't even attempted a shot yet. He's usually the kind of guy that once you get him involved in a hurry, he's consistent all game long, but right now really quiet from O'Corey, and we'll see if that might be impacted just by Brandon Robinson returning to the lineup.
Now into the ball game for St. John, number 42, Ricky Voltse.
And here's an interesting roster move. We see Cordell Jonte checking into the game for the Storm. He hasn't played at home in, I believe, 4 games now, so to see him come into this game so early on, it's all about matchups, and we'd have to suspect he is here to guard Kenny Jones, the gentleman at the free throw line right now, the lead-in scorer on the St. John Millrats team at 20 per game. And how about this? Kenny Jones, second in the NBL in scoring at 20.9. He's trailing just Marvin Phillips of the London Lightning, who is just a tad over him. So the Storm are up by 12. Now they're only up by 5. And how about that? Nick O'Corey says, I'll get involved. His first shot is a make. And now it is a 7-point advantage for the men in orange. The shot clock hasn't started yet, I've just noticed. So St. John could really work the clock on this one. And St. John probably could have held on for a little bit longer, but they're going to end up losing that possession after an offensive foul against Tyrone Levitt. And to the folks at home wondering why I might sound a little bit foggy, I've been down with a cold the last week or so, and my voice has been a little shaky during that period. I also broadcasted a pretty heavy schedule on Monday, and that put me out of commission for a few days. So if I'm sounding a little foggy, that's why. Hopefully I'll be back and ready to go. What a tough shot from Double A. My goodness, that was from 10 feet beyond the three-point line. Goodness, that was deep. That was near the center circle. Here's Robinson. Step back. He is charged with traveling. Coach Salerno can't believe it. Neither can Brandon Robinson, who are both in the ear of the official right now. So now the officials are just placing Ricky Volsi. St. John has been a hot team of late. They've won only 3 against the Storm this season, but they've won the last 2, and there is Anderson again. Makes it a 1-point game. My goodness, that's a deep shot. So if you're the Storm, you can't think you have the upper hand just because you're the second-place team or you have home advantage or that you've won more against them this season, because really I see this as a level matchup. It's pretty even right now. The Storm haven't been playing great lately, and now we see Zaglinski's still down on the court right now behind the bucket. You can see him really looks to be in a lot of pain right now. Of course, Zaglinski was out several months with a hamstring injury, and he's really having trouble to get up.
The ball game for the Island Storm, number 22, Rashad Wack.
Zaglinski is going to lie down. He looks to be in a lot of pain. Trainers and doctors attending to him right now. They're going to help him up.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Island Storm would like to...
That would be a devastating loss for the Storm, and he's going to have to actually get carried away right now. So Mike Williams and Nick Evans are carrying Zaglinski. So that's a huge concern for the Storm. That's a loss that they really can't take. For the Storm, Sammy Zaglinski is such a big part of just basically how this team is operated. He averages 10 points per game, 4 rebounds, 80% at the line, 7 assists per game. He's so valuable to this team. So whenever we do get an update on Sammy Zaglinski, we will definitely inform you. Here is Anderson. To Volsi in the corner. Levitt sticks it.
Tyrone Levitt.
So Rashad Wack checks in while Zaglinski is getting tended to right now. Birdsong also about to make an appearance along with Rush for the Storm. Mike Martin goes in with a slam. My goodness, the facial, and Mike Martin is fired up. He says, look at me. That was very, very pretty. Mike Martin knows it too. Check it out. Mike Martin, a little quick stutter step, and he goes right to the rim with the right hand slam. My goodness. And he got hit too. He's a strong guy. That didn't even throw him off at all. Martin misses that, but Cordell Jonte was there for the offensive rebound. Here's Rush. Little spin move. He was stuck. Gets it to Robinson up top. Robinson pump fake, goes in traffic. No call that time. He's frustrated. And back the other way. Here's Cawthorn. He's going to take the long 2. Can't get it. Rashad Wack gets it. Robinson right to the hole, but he couldn't complete. Cordell Jonte is there, and Jonte gets it.
Now into the ball game for the Island Storm, number 24, Lewis Birdsong.
Now Birdsong will check into this game. The Storm still up by 2 points, 3:50 left here in the first quarter of Game 1 of the NBL playoffs here from Eastlink Center in Charlottetown. Whack with the take right inside. Nice play. Gets Volsi in the air. So the Storm with a really nice start to this game. And respectably, St. John has played pretty well also, but they've really been bailed out by a few long buckets from Anderson. Two that probably wouldn't have gone for any other player in this league except for Anthony Anderson. Here is Robinson with the beautiful take. How good is B-Rob? It must be so nice for Coach Salerno to get to breathe that sigh of relief because Robinson already has 7 points in this one. Whack, tough defense on Anderson. Anderson tries to break through. He gets it inside, and he gets it to an Alex Superman Johnson, who is tied up, and he'll shoot too.
Storm foul number 15, Brandon Robinson. That'll be his first. That'll be the team's third. Back into the ball game for the Storm. Number 2, Nick O'Corey.
Taking a quick look around the league right now. Halifax and Moncton, that's the only team that has actually began their series. That is knotted up at 1 apiece. Of course, this one here features the number 2 seeded Island Storm versus number 3 St. John. In the Central, Windsor versus Mississauga, 1-4. And then the number 2 seeded Brampton A's against the number 3 seeded London Lightning. So that's a really, really tough series out there between Brampton and London. That'd be a fun one to keep your eyes on, folks. But this one here should actually be one of the closer ones too. I could see this going to 4, most likely 5 games. I'd be shocked if it didn't go to at least 4 though. 24-19, 2:20 left here in the first.
Storm foul number 24, Lewis Birdsong.
So that will be Birdsong's first foul in this one. He fell out of the rotation a little bit. He was that starting guy. He actually came back after being cut by the team in training camp and had 25 points in his first game against these very own St. John Mill Rats. Birdsong falls to the ground. You got to shake that one off and come back. Storm still with a lot of ball game left. Here is Rush up top. That one off. In the corner, Anderson. Oh my goodness, how good are you, Anthony Anderson? I don't know how you stop that if you're the Island Storm. There's really not a way. He's got 11 points right now. He's only attempted 3s, and he's made all of them. He also has 2 free throws. There's Birdsong. That's going to be a deep 2. So both of these teams trading buckets here on the early going. Whack is going to get charged for reaching in. Not a smart foul from him, but it could have been a lot worse, I suppose. It could have been a shooting foul.
That'll be the team's 5th.
Levitt with the step back. He missed it. Now here comes Rush. Finds Whack. Squares up, and that's a miss. Double A guarded tightly by Whack. And now O'Corey goes right in. He is hit. And the officials are going to say, I think they're debating right now if it will be a shooting foul or not. I think it should be. And it will be a shooting foul.
That'll be the team's 6th. Into the ball game now for St. John, number 32, Eric Crookshank.
So O'Corey will inbound. He's out there with Birdsong, Rush, Whack, and not Famutini. That is Cordell Jonte on the court. Nice screen by Jonte. Frees up Rush, but Rush has to hit that one. That's a miss by Rush. And now quickly back the other way. Here comes Cawthron right to the hole.
Keith Cawthron.
So now the Storm with 24 seconds left in this first quarter, 19 on the shot clock. It's a tied ball game, 26 apiece. The Storm gave up a pretty good lead. They were up 12-0 here. We'll see if they can close the quarter strong. Not with that attempt. Now we'll see what St. John can do. Here is Anderson, deep three coming up again. That time it's short. And that'll do the first quarter. It is knotted up at 26 apiece here from Charlottetown. We'll be right back in the second.
26, your Island Storm, 26. Ladies and gentlemen, with the cost of post-secondary education rising faster than the annual inflation rates, how can you help them achieve their dreams? As Investors Group Financial Services consultant, Tim Butler and Andrew Hughes can help create a plan for you to invest in their future. Call them, 902-566-4661.
All right, East Link Center, it's time now for the Fox Meadow Putting Challenge. And coming up June 27th this year, it is the Stats Charity Golf Tournament. Here we have the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Stats Karatza. Wow, 2 people are here. You brought your family, too, and they're not even clapping. Oh, no. Oh, no. All right, we have Regan McCauley here, too. Let's make some noise for Regan. Whoever gets closer is going to win free golf to Fox Meadow Stats. You wanted to go first. Let's see what you got. Now, having golfed with Stats on numerous occasions, I know he's usually pretty terrible. All right, so that's going wide. That's kind of close for someone who's supposed to let the kid win, but anyway. All right, so Regan, it's your turn. You just have to do better than Stats. You got to get it a little bit closer. He may get some help on this. There you go. There you go. Might take one of those weird ricochets, I think. Like, it hit a tree. It hit a tree. Look at that. You are the winner, Regan. Congratulations. Woo!
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the second quarter. It's brought to you by Capital Honda and the 2015 Honda Civic. It's Canada's best-selling car 17 years running. The 2015 Honda Civic from Capital Honda keeps wowing generations of drivers with Honda's legendary fun-to-drive performance, their fuel efficiency, and slam dunk styling. Starting from only $42 weekly, that's the 2015 Honda Civic from Capital Honda here in Charlottetown.
Welcome back to East Link Center. Brett Poirier live on the play-by-play call. 26 apiece right now. The Storm were up 12-0 in this game. St. John did a nice job getting back into it midway through the first quarter. Now Nick Evans back onto the court, along with Brandon Robinson for the Storm. And St. John has Johnny Mahan back on the court. Both of those guys weren't on at the end of the first quarter, but are key guys for their team, so we'll see if they make the immediate impact in the second. Here's O'Corey. He goes right inside to the hole. Nick O'Corey is so good at coming off of screens. He's got such a quick first step. Almost impossible for the defender to actually stop him. A lot of players will run beside, often get charged with a foul, just like Mike Martin did on that play.
Storm foul, number 6, Mike Martin. That'll be his first.
So Mahan will inbound the ball right now for the Storm, or pardon me, for force of habit, I suppose, for the Mill Rats. But he turns it right over to Rashad Wack. Wack comes in with the slam. Right now, the lead in scorer after one quarter, Anthony Anderson, who has 11. Rejected at the rim. Nick Evans says, get that out of here. He outlets to O'Corey, who finds B-Rob. He almost lost his balance, and it's back up to O'Corey. Okori right to the rim. And now Nick Okori starting to get things going. He has 8 points. And he's doing that at a pretty high efficiency rate too. 4 of 5. Another turnover from St. John. Robinson scoops it up. He's going upstairs. Okori throws it down. And the Storm are fired up, and St. John says that's enough. They call timeout. We'll be right back here on Universal Media.
Ladies and gentlemen, this second quarter is brought to you by the Capital Honda's 2015 Honda Fit. Wow, that's what people are saying about the Honda Fit. It's totally redesigned. The all-new Honda Fit is anything but basic with second-row magic seats. The Fit possesses the versatility to handle anything your friends can throw in it. It starts now at only $39 weekly. The 2015 Honda Fit from Capital Honda.
All right, can we get Logan Hodder and Patrick Perry to the court? Logan Hodder and Patrick Perry. Well, we're waiting for them. We're going to keep this energy going. It's the playoffs, Eastlink Center. So you guys got to be loud all night long. Let's practice right now. I'll count to 3. You're all going to tear the roof off this place right now. 1, 2, 3. Feed them your love. Feed them your love. Come on, come on. Still looking for Logan Hodder and Patrick Perry to come on down. Or we're making Rob put the gear on. They're all saying they want to see you do it now, Rob. Oh, no, that's a terrible idea. I know, I agree. All right, let's hear you one more time. Eastlink Center, get behind these guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Island Storm want to thank these sponsors for their support of Storm basketball. Atlantic Windows, BMR, Capital Honda, CFCY, the Conley Group, Domino's Pizza, Eastlink Corporation, Fox Meadow Golf Course, Go PEI, The Guardian, and Hillside Chevrolet.
So the Island Storm on a little run of their own. They're up by 8 points right now. St. John had to call a timeout right before the break. We'll see what they drew up. Here is Johnson to Volsey. Working on Martin. He gets inside. Nice play from Volsey. He's got a few inches on Martin and definitely a few pounds. And his ideal defender for the Storm would be Nick Evans, but a little mismatch there caused the 2-point opportunity. And that one slides right through the fingertips of Robinson. So that'd be quickly back to St. John now. Up top, Volsey. That one's short. Evans tracks that one down. He's going to hand it off to Wack, who will slow things down. Robinson gets it to Okori, and Okori for 3. That's a tough look for Okori. He had Mahan right in his grill, and he fired it pretty much directly over him. Not an easy look at all. Cawthorn hands it off. Little pump fake action from Superman, and that one goes in. Second chance for St. John is good for Mahan. Here's B-Rob into Mike Martin. He was going to go upstairs again. Not that time. I don't think Ricky Volsey wanted to be part of that poster.
St. John foul. Number 42, Ricky Volsey. That'll be his second.
And a great crowd here at Eastlink Center tonight. Must be 1,800, near 2,000 in attendance for this one. So that's really exciting. We see Sammy Zaglinski right now. He's got ice on his right ankle. We haven't had any update if he will return right now. But I'm not a doctor by any means, but I'm just going to guess based on general injuries that he will not be returning in this game. Don't quote me on that, though. That's just my uneducated guess from 200 feet away from him. But he has his right ankle elevated with ice. So it could just be a little tweak or a sprain. But he didn't make any screaming pain noises like we saw from Jonathan Mills against whenever London was in town. Unfortunately for him, he did end up with a pretty severe injury and he had to have surgery to repair that. 3-point game. Martin to Whack in the corner. And a lucky roll from Whack. The rims are friendly here at East Link Center tonight. Right now the Storm shooting 46%. Crookshank tried to go upstairs. Little step back, no good either for Mahan. Crookshank, the oldest player in the league, and he still gets up there. Let's see if O'Corey gets up there. Not quite, but he's going to get a foul called. He'll shoot two.
St. John foul number 42, Ricky Volsey. That'll be his third. That'll be the team's second.
So for Volsey, that is his third foul. We'll see Jeremy Williams check into the game now.
Corey into the ball game for the Storm. Number 11, Alex Garage. Checking back in, Kenny Jones for St. John. And number 24, Jeremy Williams.
So O'Corey at the line averages 15 points per game with the Storm. At the free throw line, shoots an impressive 83%. That number was actually much higher when he came here in January. This percentage just dropped a bit. He had a bit of a rough patch in late January, early February at the free throw line. But he's still the go-to guy for the Storm when it comes to free throws. Now Kenny Jones working on Evans. That pass picked off, and it's going to lead to an and one for the Storm. For the Mill Rats. 41-35 now.
Storm foul, number 6, Mike Martin. That'll be his second. That'll be the team's third on the foul line to shoot one for St. John, Keith Cothran. Back into the ball game now for the Storm, number 24.
Just got a text from former St. John Millrats broadcaster Ian Jodry. Ian actually joined me here with the Storm in the finals last year. He was also part of NBL All-Star Weekend. Really cool to see that he's checking out his old team. Maybe the Millrats will get lucky and get to have him back on the mic for a few games here and there during the playoff stretch. Now Robinson fumbles around. O'Corey, he steps into a three, sticks it. And there's a big bucket from O'Corey. He is playing excellent today. 5 of 7 shooting, 13 points for him. He also has a couple of rebounds and assists to go with that. Offensive rebound pulled down by Cothran. Mahan up top, 18 on the shot clock for his Millrats. Evans all over him. Now up top, Johnson has 8 seconds to shoot. Jeremy Williams will take it. That's a myth. Darash tracks it down. Darash double team, coughed it up. Here comes Johnson the other way. So that was a hard hit, and Johnson will take 2 free throws now.
That'll be his second. That'll be the team's fourth. On the foul line to shoot 2 for St. John. Number 11, Alex Johnson. And back into the ball game for the Island Storm. Number 1.
Alex Johnson, of course, that former first overall pick in the NBL. He's a Canadian too, so really cool to have that Canadian representation, the first ever Canadian player to be drafted first overall in the NBL of Canada. And there he goes, splitting that pair. 44-36 now the score. An 8-point Storm lead with 6:40 left here. A turnover by the Storm. Here comes Johnson, flies in, scores it.
Alex Johnson.
Nick Evans underneath, he gets it.
Evans.
Right now the Storm could really use a good defensive possession. They've given up a few easy ones on back-to-back trips for St. John. We'll see if they can lock down here. That was a pretty good possession. A little bit of a cough up though, and Kenny Jones right underneath. That's what you need, a good defensive rebound, and they got it from from Darash. And Darash finds Rush. That's his sweet spot. Bam! Here's Mahan. 6 on the shot clock. Another late shot clock possession for St. John. Now 2 seconds. Jones is going to get caught with a 24-second call. Coach Salerno was also waving his arm saying he traveled beforehand. Salerno definitely could have a case. There was a lot of movement with Jones's feet on that possession. Now he's speaking with one of the officials, and I can tell the official said, hey, that wasn't my area to call. Here's Nick Evans now. That one just pops right over Lewis Birdsong. And Nick Evans, overall, pretty good game. I mean, you're not going to fault that one turnover because I guess it was a good pass. It was just an unexpected pass. You have to have a little better communication with your guys when you're about to make a behind the back or over the head pass because it's really tough to predict when they're actually going to come. And now Singleton sticks the deep 2. 49-40 now. And we have an update on Zaglinski right now. It is a lower leg injury, I'm told, so it definitely looks like it could be that ankle. And he will not be returning to the game today. It is a sprain, but we're not sure to what degree at this point. So Sammy Zaglinski suffers a lower leg sprain, and he will not return to this game. Here's J. Will up top. Tries to get it to Anderson. He almost coughed it up. Now up top, you can't leave him that wide open, and he's going to make you pay. That's Singleton. That's one of those plays that Salerno's going to look back at and say, why did we break down at that point? And I think it was actually after the double team by Anthony Anderson, and there comes Darash cutting inside. You have to credit Nick Evans with the peripherals on that one. He saw Darash cutting. And an offensive foul. Nick Evans falls to the ground after Kenny Jones bumps into him.
St. John foul, number 5, Kenny Jones.
Head coach Julius King of St. John says, oh, I don't think so. I don't think so. Nick Evans is a pretty big boy, 6'11", 250 pounds. He's pretty hard to knock over like that. Now Jamie Vanderbeeken will check into this game. You don't see Vanderbeeken very much, so he'll match up against Evans. Birdsong pump fake up top to Evans. Evans throws up an air ball. Darash is underneath. Out to Rush, and now Corey's wide open, but Birdsong was open too. He threw up a brick. Birdsong, tough guard. He's got Kenny Jones to handle. Step back for double A. He's been cold this quarter after putting up 11 points in the first. Here's Corey off a little bit of a screen. He goes in, but Lewis Birdsong goes in, and he uses that little left-hand tap to get that one. exactly where he wanted it to go, and it just pretty much brushed straight into the basket. He didn't have to give it much of a touch at all. Charging in, that will be a foul.
Storm foul number 24, Louis Birdsong. That'll be his second. That'll be the team's fifth. On the line for St.
So now stepping to the line is Kenny Jones for St. John, their leading scorer at 20 a game. So you see right there on your screen, Coach Joe Salerno has the bow tie back. The bow tie won the Storm an incredible 8 straight games after a loss to Halifax at Metro Center. So it's something that he hasn't worn since the bow tie saga came to an end about a month ago. So we'll see if it has any impact. We know Coach Joe is very superstitious, really believes in this stuff. So we'll just kind of see if this has any impact at all. But maybe if it works tonight, we'll get to see it in St. John for Game 2. That would be very interesting. But what really matters is the bow tie is back, folks. There's Nick Evans. Nice position. Maybe that's why Vanderbecken doesn't get much playing time. He let Nick Evans get way too close to the basket on that possession. And for Vanderbecken, a guy who stands at the exact same height as Nick Evans, and probably looking at these numbers here, he's got about an extra 15 pounds on Evans. He should be able to keep Evans pretty well controlled underneath the basket, because Evans doesn't necessarily fly above players. He's a pretty defensively sound, offensive-minded, low-post guy who's not going to rise above players. He's going to use his nice footwork, his polish. He's going to score over you, but he's not going to score by going around you with these ridiculous plays. So, I mean, the strategy to guard him, if you can do it, you can do it really well, but Vanderbecken is going to have to try and stay a little more active on his feet to control Evans the rest of this game.
St. John foul number 55, Jamie Vanderbeeken. That'll be his first. That'll be the team's fifth. On the foul line to shoot 2 for the Storm, number 24.
So now Birdsong steps to the line, a 10-point Storm lead. So after giving up their 12-point lead in the first, the Storm back on top, could be up by 12 after these free throws. So just a quick note, I will actually not be here during the second half of this game tonight. I'm not going to complain. I'm going to be sitting courtside in the chair of Bruce Rainey as he and Mickey Fox will be up here doing the game. They'll explain why they're doing it. Don't worry, I didn't lose my job. Although Bruce would definitely do a better job on the play-by-play. There's Nick O'Corey. That's a pretty finish in the Storm, up 14 now. St. John is really going to have to make some quick adjustments. Vanderbecken for 3, that one short. So we'll have Mickey on the play-by-play and Bruce on, or pardon me, Mickey on the color, Bruce on the play-by-play. And I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun. They're terrific at what they do. They will be great. So I will be back here for Game 3, and it's going to be all me, just me. But you guys have Bruce and Mickey here in the second half. Now you can see Nick O'Corey on this transition basket. Little slam for him.
For the Storm, number 42, Ricky Bolsey. Timeout, Storm, ladies and gentlemen. The newly
All right, we'll have a quick timeout. We'll be back here in a moment.
It's from Capital Honda. You can expect to hear wow when you're driving that car. It's Motor Trend's 2015 SUV of the year. It's the Honda 2015 CR-V, jam-packed with features and bold new styling. Starts from only $69 weekly. That's the Honda CR-V from Capital Honda, 40 Lower Malpeque Road, Charlottetown. nonprofit fundraising sponsor are Snowbest, Cameron, and Ellis Chartered Accountants. Also, our official combination provider of the Storm, Broad Hotels and Resorts, our official strength and conditioning center, Dynamic Fitness, and the official trainers of the Storm, UPEI Panthers.
All right, there is our future play-by-play in color, guys. There's Mickey on the left and Bruce on the right now. Just probably discussing a little bit of strategy courtside right now. So I will be down in their seats. They'll be up in mine. There is Billy Rush. He soars in. 62-46, a buck 24 left. Step back. Oh, there you go. Brandon Robinson. It's nice to have him back. And Robinson now with 10 points in this one. Little handoff play. Levitt up top to Double A. It's a 19-point Storm lead right now, and Double A still on the ground. The Storm are running, a little behind the back pass, right to Rush. And how good does this feel if you're a Storm fan? They are up by 21 at halftime. Anderson goes right in. Cordell Jonte stops him. And the big elbows of Cordell Jonte say, hey, get out of here. You don't want to be a piece of these. Little step back play. Brandon Robinson tries to get a foul call. He can't on that one. And that probably was a travel call. They're gonna, I'm not sure what the official call is. There's only 7 seconds left here in the half. They're gonna say count the basket, but that actually looks like a travel. That's a pretty interesting call right there. I'm almost certain I saw those puppies move underneath. So Raheem Singleton is going to get the and one opportunity right now. So 7 seconds left for the Storm. They are up by 18 large. Here's a quick replay of what happened on the last play. Singleton comes in, gets his own rebound. I think he might have. I don't know. It's tough to call it. And that's going to do it after a quick Storm miss. I'm going to end this game like I would any other game because this is the end for me. I want to thank my family, my grandparents watching back home, all of the St. John Millrats fans who are tuning into this great game. And there is a great second half coming up with Bruce Rainey and Mickey Fox on the call, so stay tuned for that in 15 minutes. That is all for me. Thank you for tuning in, and make sure you don't miss the third quarter here on Universal Media.
www.capitalhonda.com. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a treat for you tonight. Lots of dancers from the Dance Virtuosa class.
It's so important to make someone happy. Make just one someone happy. Make just one heart-to-heart you. You sing to one smile that cheers you. One face that lights when it nears you. One girl, you're everything. Fame, if you win it, comes and goes in a minute. Where's the real stuff in life to cling to? Love is the answer. Someone to love is the answer. Once you've found her, build your world around her. Make someone happy. Make just one someone happy, and you will be happy too.
Let's hear it for our introduction to dance. Good job, guys. Woohoo! All right, so some of you may know me. My name's Kashina. I'm in charge of the Storm Chasers. But today I've got a different hat on. We've brought a ton of our dancers from Dance Virtuosa. So these guys work hard all year. And they do a lot of performing. They love performances. But one of the things that people rarely get to see is how hard they work before they get there. So today we decided we'd give a little demonstration of stuff that they do in class, their warm-up and all that, so people see, you know, what's involved before the performance. So we've got a ton of hip-hoppers here. So let's give it up. Juniors, come on out. We're going to have all levels, juniors, intermediate, seniors. Come on, woo! And there's a mix of Charlottetown and Summerside here today. So you got classes in both cities. Good. All right, and Sam can go.
Pop Danthology.
I say I'm too late. Got nothing in my brain. That's what people say. That's what people say.
I seem crazy what I'm about to say. You're like a drug that's killing me. I cut you out entirely. But I get so high when I'm inside you. Clap along if you feel like I'm this out. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want. I'm crazy. You don't think I know what you've done. These girls ain't loyal. Baby, I know I'm not the only one. You talk dirty to me.
This is how we do. So what are you gonna do? This is how we do.
You know the words in my songs. No habla English. Girl, said she hallelujah. Girl, said she hallelujah. Our conversations ain't long, but you know what is. Girl, said she hallelujah. 'Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. 'Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. 'Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Saturday night and we in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch. Don't believe me, just watch. I'm so confused. Me lost. Feels so good. She came to give it to you. Hey, what do you got? But if you know what you want, she'll be your mind. I've got you in my space. I won't let go again.
When you say you love me, no, I love you more. When you say you need me, no, I need you more.
There's no going back. Say something, I'm giving up on you.
You never said a word, you didn't send me no letter.
I'm sorry that I couldn't get it. Why you gotta be so rude? Trying so hard not to let it show. Nobody else seems to know. If one thing I know, I bought what I grow. I'm walking down this road of mine, this road that I go home. So am I wrong?
I'll give you a time, make it like a
Yeah, no matter what you say.
I know you like it sweet, so you can have your cake. Give you something good to say. Bang, bang, you don't remember to forget you. Bang, bang, all over you. Yeah, you always make me go. I'd rather lose you this. I try to let it go, let it go. I try to let it go. Everybody wanna see my girl.
Give it up for Dance Virtuosa's hip hop girls. Woo! Great, thanks guys. One final little note. Anybody that's interested, we have a new semester starting off at the end of March. So anyone that likes some info, just go to dancevirtuosa.com.
Thank you, Kashina, one more time. All right, now it's time for some more entertainment here at halftime. It is time for the Lotomax Presents Cavendish Beach Music Festival Island Idol, another quarterfinals matchup right now. And a reminder, you're going to see the buckets out here right now. They have our contestants' names on them for tonight. When you're leaving, you're going to rip your ticket stub in half and put it in the bucket of which performer you feel deserves it tonight, all right? So let's welcome our first contestant, since I think he's ready to go. Marshall McIsaac, come on up. All right, here he comes. All right, Eastlink Center, one more time for Marshall McIsaac.
How's everybody doing tonight? Great game. Great game. All right, I'm going to play a little song for you guys that I wrote, and it's about the beautiful island that we live on. And so, hope you like it. Prince Edward Island is where I'm from, where the winter nights are long and the summer days strong. Clean-cut grass along my back, breathing living wish that someday I'll figure out my tricks. It's been a long way home, living on the edge. My hold down, throw down, my ain't red. Only wish and dream is all inside of me. The Islander. People knew and people talked about the things that we did back in the day when we were only kids. An Islander home could do no wrong. Money doesn't buy the places that you belong. It's been a long way home, living on the edge. My hold down, throw down, my sense ain't red. Only wish and dream is all inside me. Breathing and wishing for the day. The Islander way. Way home, living on the edge. My hold down, throw down, my sense ain't red. Only wish and dream is all inside of me. Breathing and wishing for the day. The Islander way.
All right, Marshall. Thank you very much, sir. You could see Marshall at the Cavendish Beach Music Festival if you so desire. Don't forget to vote by ripping your ticket in half and putting it into the contestants' bucket on your way out tonight. Now we welcome the beautiful Miss Bridget Blanchard.
Hey, check. Another round of applause for Marshall. Great. The song I'm going to sing for you guys is called If It Wasn't for the Whiskey, and it's by Zach Hatcher. Daddy had a weakness. He left it on the shelf, and every time he touched it, he turned into someone else. Then he tried to teach me wrong from right with a backside of his head. Was love me, but he'd never give it up. I know in his heart he wanted to, but to want to is never enough. And while the whiskey sang the music, oh, the if it wasn't for the whiskey, Daddy would have been a good man. Damn that whiskey, Daddy would have been a good man. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Bridget. So is it Marshall or is it Bridget? Don't forget to rip your ticket stub in half. Put it into whoever's bucket you would like to see move on to the next round. Part of the Lotto Max presents Cavendish Beach Music Festival, Island Idol.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, check out that nice red vehicle down in the Storm Bar Zone section. It's a beauty. It's the 2015 GMC Acadia all-wheel drive, crimson red with tint coat paint and dune leather interior. This is a beauty. The unit is fully equipped. Forward collision alert and lane departure warnings, 20-inch chrome wheels, navigation system, heated and cooled, not just heated and cooled seats, and 4G Wi-Fi. There's a whole lot more. 0% financing up to 60 months. Stop by Hillside Chevrolet at 113 St. Peters Road or visit them online at hillsidechevrolet.com. Talk to their sales staff. Bobby McGuigan, David Falls, Brian Yonker, Pierce McLean, or Rob McDougall, and check out this 2015 GMC Acadia. All right, don't forget to pick up your 50-50 tickets. We're well over now $1,100. All right, total pot is up over $1,100 here. 50-50 tickets available throughout the building, but if you really need one, get down to the Storm Center. Not a bad chunk of change, taking home half that. While you're down picking up your 50-50 ticket, don't forget to stop by the Investors Group Financial Services booth down there. Fill out a ballot. They're going to be giving away $10,000 later on this year. You may as well get your name in the ballot box. You too could be a winner. By the way, how can you make your income last a lifetime? Well, in retirement, Canadians primarily rely on pensions and savings to cover their expenses. No one knows for sure how long they're going to need those savings to last, and mistakes like not investing wisely or withdrawing too much money can be difficult to fix. So, Tim Butler or Andrew Hughes, consultants with the Investor Group Financial Services, can help you understand where you are today, determine the income you'll need in retirement, and recommend changes to help make your income last your lifetime. Give them a call, 902-566-4661, and get started on your plan. All right, we have a birthday wish to pass along here tonight. On the north end, we want to wish happy birthday to Nicholas Whitlock, age 11 tomorrow. So, birthday greetings going out to Nicholas Whitlock. Going to be celebrating his 11th birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday, Nicholas, from the Island Storm. If you have a birthday wish you want to pass along, just go on down to the Storm Center. They'll get it to me, and we'll pass it along as well. The Island Storm want to thank the following sponsors for their support of Storm basketball. They include Quick Copy, Parker Realty, Party Perfect, Pepsi, Pre-Built Steel, Q93, Red Shores Racetrack and Casino, Spud 102 FM, Tim Hortons, UPEI, Wendy's, and Windsor Park. And speaking of the Guardian, everybody has a story. You can count on the Guardian to keep you up to date on the stories from your community. Subscribers can read them on a range of platforms, either print, edition, or on the website.
All right, we continue from the East Link Center. I want to thank Brett Poirier for stepping aside for a bit. Brett's got a bit of a cold tonight, so he asked myself, Bruce Rainey, and CIS basketball legend Mickey Fox to step in for a bit of the second half at least. The Storm an 18-point lead at the half, Mick, and we both agreed that one of the keys to their start was the aggressive play of their star, Brandon Robinson.
No question about it. He's an athlete, and he's been taking it to the hole, just really dishing the ball off. I like Okori. Okori came in and gave him some great, he came off the bench when Sam got hurt, and he really took over. And I think he's the difference between, the first half so far.
18-point lead for the Storm. Anthony Anderson, call it an 11-point half quiet, but a comparatively quiet half for him. He sat out for a bit there. We wondered if he was hurt, but they played him pretty well, I think.
Well, I think, again, they're going to try and save him for the second half. He can shoot anywhere. His range is unlimited. 902 area code, he's shooting from 2-1-2 some of these games. The kid can just flat out play, So second half, these guys have got to make a run, though. They've got down 18.
This is game one of a best-of-5 playoff series between the Island Storm and the St. John Millrats. Storm raced out to a 12-0 lead. St. John came back and took a lead at 19-18, but then the Storm took over in the late stages of the first quarter, early stages of the second, and pulled out to this 67-49 lead.
Yeah, I think the difference so far, Bruce, too, is I look at the stats here. They've got 11 offensive rebounds to Storm to 2 to the Millrats, and that's got to change. I mean, they talked earlier in the game about what's going to win this. It's going to be defense. They didn't mention rebounding, and the team that rebounds in the second half and controls the glass is going to be the difference maker.
Storm ball to start the second half. Nick Okori works up top against Anthony Anderson. This is Mike Martin on the drive against Williams. A tie up there and jump ball.
Yeah, jump ball. Good hands. And you notice him, the defender went in, he reached in with two hands. You always see when a guy goes in with one hand to flick at it, that's when he gets the fouls. When he gets two hands on that ball, that's good defensive effort.
Former Storm player Jeremy Williams now with the ball. Johnny Mahane. To Keith Jones, who was 1 for 5 in the first half. Down low to Mahane. Good play there on a back screen. And
bad defense in this. Storm were arguing among themselves. They missed that one. He just slipped the screen and no talk on defense. The key to a good defensive team is they got to communicate.
Difference now 16 in favor of the Storm. Okori on the drive. Plays it up and off, and the ball is off back for Anderson. Down this way, and good hustle by Brandon Robinson to break it up.
Good effort to get back, but again, the first 2 or 3 minutes of the half are the keys to any game, and this is what I'm sure what Coach King has told these guys at half. We got to get back in here, so the first 2 or 3 minutes of the half are key.
One of the key matchups we've been watching is Okori number 2 and Anderson number 12. The two big guns nose to nose here. Lost inside, picked up by Robinson. He plays it to Rashad Wack, pulls up for 3, and finds it.
It's amazing, Bruce, and watching these games, and I have seen a few this year, the range that these kids have, and all of them, all the guards can shoot and deep.
You see a lot of high pick and roll action here. There's a system run for Jones underneath. He was 1 for 5 in the first half, scores here on a hook shot in the second.
You talk about the pick and roll, and yep, that's the key, I think, to good basketball these days. Everybody runs that high pick and roll and spreads the floor a little bit tighter than the old John Stockton used to do with the Utah Jazz.
They'll set the pick almost just over half court now at times.
These kids have so much range, and then it spreads the floor for the other 3 or 4 players not involved.
There's a high pick on Okori. He stays with Anderson, down low to Jones, guarded by big Nick Evans.
Nice defense there.
Out to Mahane. That comes up short, and the Storm come back this way. Broken up, though, on a deflection. Pass for Williams. He goes in hard. Evans is there, called on the block.
Like to see that one on replay. It looked like he might have had his feet set, and he was outside the semicircle, but the ref saw it a different way.
Here it comes here.
You know, that's one of those 50-50 calls, heads or tails. Which way are you going to go?
Always close. So count the basket for Williams. He'll shoot one. He was a popular player here on PEI a year ago with the Island Storm. Didn't make the team out of camp this year, and St. John's happy to have him.
Okay, he's shooting too, so he must have missed. We must have lost that one somewhere in the lights up here.
We were focused on the block or the charge. Splits a pair. Nick Evans will sit down. Cordell Genty, the young Canadian player, in now, number 42 for the Storm.
The old Saluki from Southern Illinois. He played with the national team for a while. Real good player, tough kid.
He's a low down low. Doesn't score much, but works hard. Here's Robinson. This is how he started the game, looking for his shot. A whack for another three. That's off, rebounded by Mahane, and back comes the St. John Millrats. This is Singleton, number 1, hard to the hoop. He's cut off and fouled by Genty.
You know, that's what these point guards are really strong and capable. They're able to get to the hole, take the hit, and still get the ball off. Both these kids I'm very, very impressed with.
That was deemed a shooting foul.
Going to hit 2 here.
Singleton looking to close the gap to perhaps 13. It's off the back iron.
Doesn't it always happen? As soon as we start talking about good free throw shooters or closing a gap, he misses it. I think he's a 78% shooter for the season.
Able to split a pair, and the gap now 14 points. It was 18 at the half. Some pressure here on Wack as he brings the ball up. If you missed it, Sammy Zaglinski, the starting point guard for the Island Storm, looked like some sort of leg injury in the first half. He has not been back.
Yeah, they carried him off. 2 players. It didn't look like he was moving very well, so hopefully it's not a season-ending injury here.
Collision there between Singleton and Okori. It was Singleton who undercut Okori there, and a foul called. Once again, we want to thank Brett Poirier for letting us sit in here and call a bit of basketball action.
He's getting a break. I'm seeing him. He's sitting down there at courtside with his girlfriend having a great time.
I think he is. He
looks
good.
We're up here working.
He wore his tie. This is Robinson on the drive. That's poked away. 2-on-2, Williams against Martin. Good drive to the hoop for Jeremy Williams.
Nice finish. Good body control. You know, it always amazes me how these kids in the air hang so long and yet still control the body, and at the end, a soft touch off the backboard.
You see the Okori-Robinson connection in action here for the Storm. 2-3 combination that can be deadly. Ball comes to the other side to Wack. He takes it to the hoop hard. Genty there for the putback.
And that's what he does well. He's a garbage man, gets on the offensive glass. Be interesting to see how long Coach Salina, he's staying small with Gentry actually being one of the bigger players at only 6'6". 3 guards out there.
This is Jones working against Genty. Goes to the fall away. Bit hard, rebounded by Cordell Genty. Outlets to Wack, and back come the Storm. Outside for Wack. That's his second 3 here.
Maybe it's me because we moved up high, but it seems the tempo has slowed a lot, Bruce. Down on the floor, they were running and gunning. Either they run out of energy, or the coaches have said, hey, let's make this a half-court game.
Weren't many shots taken deep into the shot clock in the first half. Here's O'Corey now. Back for the Storm, has Robinson on a wing. Tosses it up, and he throws it down.
Coach King wants a timeout here, I think.
Well, it's back up to 19. That's the second time we've seen those two take off on a break tonight. This time, it's O'Corey with the dish to Robinson.
You know, it's go back into summer camp, and coaches would go crazy 20 years ago if you threw an alley-oop. Now it's part of the repertoire. If you don't know how to throw an alley-oop in this game today, it's such a high-flying game, you're pretty well locked.
What can a 2-3 combination like O'Corey and Robinson, when you're unselfish and that's skilled offensively, what can you bring to a team?
Well, you know, both those guys, as we said earlier, can go to the hole, good ball handlers, shoot the outside J. What I'd like to see both of them do a little more of, we know they can shoot the three, is a pull-up jump shot. That's something that seems to be lost, Bruce. Even at the NBA level, you know, the Ray Allens are a thing of the past. Everybody either wants to shoot the three or dunk. And even in the first half, everybody's going to the hole, but I thought there were plenty of opportunities for a nice 18-foot elbow jump shot, and no one seems to use that anymore.
And let's talk about Coach King for a second. He's there in his timeout. He saw it dip down to a 14-point gap, back now to 19, and his team's getting no run right now.
No question about it, and I don't think they're doing the job. They're not getting back on defense, so the Stormers, getting the shots that they want, and these guys have taken 2 or 3 shots that are questionable, so he's probably in the timeout going to slow them down, come out with a set play or two, and see if they can't get the ball inside, especially with Evans on the bench. They've got no size to defend them, so if they put it inside, I think they got a shot here in this first set here.
What would you do to free up Anthony Anderson a bit? Nick O'Corey's playing him really tough tonight, and the screens don't seem to be holding, you know?
You know, I think both O'Corey and Robinson have done a good job on him, and yeah, he just doesn't seem to be looking for his shot. I don't know, you know, again, it's playoff time, and defenses tend to step up, and they know that this kid is a tremendous shooter, so they're really putting pressure on him, even to almost double teaming him, putting a full court press on him.
This is Singleton bringing the ball up against hard pressure there from Wack. Up high, here comes what looked like a screen. Anderson does break free, but he's immediately double-teamed. Back out for Williams on the drive, guarded by O'Corey. That's a mismatch, and Williams takes advantage.
Again, he had the first shot at the foul line, decided not to shoot it.
Here's Genty working down low, goes up, and they call a foul on Jones, who said, I had my arms straight in the air.
What did I do? What did I do, ref? See if Cordell can bang down 2 here.
He's given them pretty good minutes here tonight in place of Nick Evans.
You know, if I think he's the type of kid that he's very unselfish. He knows his role. He's going to get out there. He's going to defend. He's going to bang and, get some garbage points. And there he goes, and he puts in 2 free throws.
The Island Storm playing shorthanded. Mike Williams, their big power forward, 6'8" and real strong, is gone for the year with an ankle injury. So Genty's going to have to play some minutes in these playoffs.
And I heard a lot about him. Hadn't seen him play. I saw him play December once, and it's too bad that because they're really going to miss him, especially as they go deeper into the playoffs. They need those big kids. Evans not going to be able to play 48 minutes a game by any stretch.
Foul there called on Singleton, his 3rd. Tyrone Levitt is back into the game, as is Rick Voltze for the St. John Millrats.
I've seen Tyrone play a lot. He was with the Rainmen. He's a veteran. He's been around this league for a while, and he's another solid kid that's just going to give you good quality minutes off the bench.
There's O'Corey. There's your pull-up jump shot that you wanted.
It is. He gave it. He's shown us a little bit of everything tonight.
You looked at me in the first half and you said, that's my favorite player on the floor.
I'd like to know what his vertical leap is. He's a tough kid. He brings that edge to him. You know, you can see it in his eyes. He hates to lose, and he's not going to give you an inch.
From Houston, Texas, number 2, Nick O'Corey.
Those were the kids that you saw in the playground, and you wanted to leave the playground because you knew they were coming, and it was going to be a battle out there.
Here's Singleton breaking free against Wack. Under the hoop he goes, and he is fouled by Mike Martin, who does not agree.
No. you ever meet a player that did agree with a ref?
They seldom do. Your thoughts on how Coach Salerno, we sat beside him for the first half, he works the refs pretty much, well, not pretty much, all game, all half long. How do you manage that in a way that it doesn't become overbearing?
It can be overbearing, and he knows that their first names. I don't know if he sends them Christmas cards or not, but he does work the refs, and I think sometimes that can backfire on you late in the game. If you're constantly on them, the refs tune you out. And you're not going to get the calls. I think sometimes, and I'm not saying this is him, but I've seen coaches who have lost concentration in the games because they're so intent. They think they're getting, jabbed by the referees. So you got to stay focused on the game, stay in the moment. You're not going to get all the calls, and you got to learn to live with that.
Maybe pick your spots a bit.
Oh, definitely. In the bow tie, that might get you a call in the first half, but down the stretch, you don't know.
Certainly makes you noticeable. This is Singleton on the line.
Was there a tech called, or?
There must have been.
Yeah, we missed something here.
I think the referees did not like the way that Mike Martin responded to that foul call with the arms up in the air.
Cordell's just going to move in and maybe speak a little French to him to see what
how fluent he is. Here we go with shot number 2. An unfriendly bounce, and we're going to keep shooting here. I guess
it's not a free throw shooting contest, is it?
All right, so they'll move in now. So clearly it was a technical and 2 shots, and then.
So this could be a 5-point swing possibly.
That gap is still 19 in favor of the Island Storm. 6:37 to go in quarter number 3. Robinson will pick up Cothran. And Singleton will bring the ball over the timeline. Again, Anthony Anderson working hard to get free against Nick O'Corey. There's a switch down low.
Yeah.
Shot from the outside, 4-3. That rattles out, and there's Rashad Wack, who's given the Storm good minutes tonight in place of Sammy Zaglinski. Nick O'Corey on the drive.
Whew. How'd that stay out?
A little strong.
All right, we got another call here.
They're going to call Lewis Birdsong there for a reach over the back.
Birdsong gave him a good 6 or 7 minutes in the first half. I like him too. He's a lean athlete. He looks like he can play the D, and he hit a couple of shots for him.
He's had a pretty good year. He's kind of been in that 6th, 7th man role most of the year, and when he comes in has been productive. Bit of injury trouble late in the year, but it looks like he's at 100% right now.
We talked about it earlier. I was wondering if it was the great Otis Birdsong's son, but you informed me that he wasn't.
I think
he
we
was
would have
one of my favorite players.
We would have smelled that one out, I think. If some contact down low, there is Birdsong.
Oh, we got away with a travel there.
Here's Robinson from deep. That rattles out.
Tough shot, guy right in his face.
And here comes Anderson. O'Corey. I did not like the way that was shaping up, so he reached in and took the foul.
Coach Salerno's not happy now. How many is that on O'Corey? Is that his second or third? Yeah, I think it's his third. They can't afford to lose him. Not with Sam out.
No, with 5:27 left to go in the third here, O'Corey will sit down. And generally when that happens, Brandon Robinson looks to be even more aggressive. Here's Anthony Anderson at the line. Rare miss for him.
Yeah. I think he's about an 86% free throw shooter.
Also pretty close to 50% from three-point range this year, which is remarkable.
Which is incredible. You shoot 50% field goal percentage anywhere on the court, and you're having a great year. And this guy's doing it from three-point land. That's incredible.
And normally well beyond the three-point line for him as well.
He's shooting some of them from Summerside, I think.
Double team there on Robinson, effective by the Mill Rats. They'll bring it back, trailing by 16 now. 5 minutes, 10 seconds to go, quarter 3. Game 1 of the best-of-5 conference semifinal. Turnover on St. John, and back will come the Storm. This is whacked by his man at the top. Drops it off for Robinson.
Oh, nice block there. Who got that one? That was a great defensive effort.
That was Keith Cothran who reached up, and Robinson will take him again, this time from 3. Bottom of the net.
As he puts the 3 down to show the fans. That was a tough shot. He was being covered pretty good there, and he got it off.
The value, Mick, of having a guy like him who can simply score the basketball.
He's an outright scorer. I mean, he just hit a 3. He's on a break now. He can get to the hole. There's a nice pass out, and yeah, he's just a complete player. And at that size, at 6'5", who can handle the ball, shoot, take it to the hole, is a coach's dream. And he's a heck of a defender as well. Look at this, nice assist. Huh?
Lovely indeed, yeah. Luxury too. When you need a hoop, you know you got him. This is Anderson back the other way, flips it up. That is short. Billy Rush with the rebound.
Yeah, that's just a terrible shot. That's 1 on 4. The other 4 Mill Rats are just standing around. He took it himself.
Billy Rush for 3. That's good.
We got to get another timeout. Yeah, that's what we got. Billy Rush is another kid. He is a player. You mentioned earlier that he was probably one of the last cuts in the NBA, and you can see why. He's got an NBA body, quickness, just smooth as silk, and get up and down.
Part of the Milwaukee Bucks camp earlier this year. Lead has swelled now to 23. Mill Rats had closed it to 14, but the Storm seemingly now with an answer each time.
Yeah. You look at a guy like Rush and you realize how good the NBA really is and how good these athletes are. And I think the fans don't appreciate that the talent here, although these guys aren't in the NBA, they're not far off from being there. And there's a reason why. Maybe a jump shot, maybe just a couple of bad days in camp. That's all it takes. But these kids are pretty amazing basketball players.
You watch this and the quality of the play, and you wonder to yourself just how good are the guys in the NBA, because you think to yourself, how can the game be played better than this? But it obviously can be.
Well, it can be. I think too. What you don't see here as much is size. You've got 1 or 2 of the big kids, but we're talking about guys like Rush and LeBron James at 6'9" is doing it. You're looking at those, Russell Westbrook, who's a freak athlete, doing it. These guys are incredible athletes. Again, there's a reason why, and some of it has to do with timing, being in the right place at the right time as well, getting that break. They've got it in golf, don't they? The big break, and and that's what all these kids are playing for. An opportunity to continue and hopefully get invited to an NBA camp next year.
Out of the timeout, the Storm up by 23 now, with just over 4 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, since the beginning, the Mill Rats just don't seem to be in sync. There's no rhythm, there's no flow on offense, and defensively, it's somewhat going through the motions.
Anderson now looking for some space. Finds Cothran in the corner. He looks down low, back out top to Anderson now. Double team on him. Cothran in the corner, guarded by Robinson. Out of bounds, the Mill Rats will keep.
Yeah, maybe let's give some credit to the Storm, too. Their defense has set the stage, right? And they talked about that in the paper today when I was reading it, that they thought the defense was going to, win them this game. And it has so far.
That's Volsey with the left-handed tip. Pretty deft underneath the hoop, and 2 points there for the Mill Rats.
That Singleton reaching in, yeah.
Backcourt foul on him, Raheem Singleton. That's his 4th foul, and Coach King will substitute him out quickly.
That's just a silly foul. 75 feet from the hoop, what are you going to do? We want you playing defense. We don't want you reaching, though. Coach is not even looking at him.
Coach King here looking to maybe pick up some pressure full court.
Well, they've got to change the tempo. Nothing's working for them.
That was Billy Rush through the double team, and he kicked it off his foot and out of bounds. And
it's hanging around that 21-point mark, and someone's got to make a run here for St. John's if they want to get back into this. There's only 3 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Ideally, where would you like to be come the end of the third quarter?
Well, again, it's the magic double figures. If you can get it down to like 9 points, you feel good about yourself. It's double digits. Sometimes it just doesn't work. But if you can get it down to single digits, you always feel you got a shot.
And there's Anthony Anderson on the drive and the foul. A chance for a three-point play.
Especially with the three-point line and the way these can shoot. It doesn't take. I was at a game last week between the Rainmen and the Moncton Miracles, and they were down 17 going into the fourth quarter, and they upset the Rainmen at home. And it was a great game, and it was the three that brought them back. the Raymond wasn't that they played bad. They scored 2. The other team kept getting 3s.
Just over 3 to go now in the third quarter. This is Alex DeRoche into the game for the Island Storm.
I know he's a PEI guy, and I saw him play at UNB, and he played well in the first half.
He did play good defense.
Did a good job.
5-on-4 here for the Mill Rats. Birdsong is late getting back. There's a 3-point attempt from Cothran, and he drains it.
Keith with a nice jump shot. Pretty.
All of a sudden, we're at 15 now.
Here you go again. Single digits, and I think Coach King would be real happy going into the fourth.
Birdsong down low to Genty. DeRoche on the follow.
There he goes.
You know, it's good to have your nose around the ball. He always does.
Well, he's a tough kid. He's not trying to do anything spectacular. He's a local kid, and the fans love him. And he's been a factor. I think he's got like 6 points for him off the bench. Good for him.
There's Anderson trying to create some space. Plays it into the corner. And there's
a
DeRoche
steal.
with a steal.
We've got to come to more of these games for this guy.
He's having a good one. Down low for Genty. Waits for his mates to arrive. Back out top to Wack. 13 on the clock as DeRoche hits for 3.
Who is this kid? Huh?
Product of the University of New Brunswick, having a good game here tonight against St. John.
The Varsity Reds. I got to give a shout out. My daughter's a University of New Brunswick player for the Varsity Red Girls. They just ended their season, so.
Here's Levitt out top for Anderson. DeRoche watches him. Double team down low. Pass in tight for Cothran, and a good pass at a foul in.
The pick and roll. They decided, good job to double Anderson, their shooter, and Anderson got rid of the ball. Nice play all around. But again, just hanging around that 20-point mark with 1:24 to go.
First appearance for Olu Famatimi today. He wears number 5 for the Island Storm. Good all-around player.
He's another Canadian. I got a chance to see him play with the national team a couple summers ago when I was up in Toronto. And he's a good athlete, and I'm glad to see he's still out. I know he was over in Europe for a while playing as well, so he's still playing. He's a good kid.
You know what, of all these guys, they're all in great shape, but Famatimi is just totally ripped and cut.
Yeah. He's an athlete.
This is Famatimi with the ball. Leaves it for Wack on the handoff. This is Wack taking it. He'll go glass. Going old school.
Old school. Sam Jones, Boston Celtics.
Right back is Cothran. Good drive to the hoop with the right-hand scoop.
Coaches want to see that. They got to stop that ball in transition. We can't let them get to the rim like that. Too easy.
So the gap at the half was 19. Right now, 18. This is Famatimi. He'll take the jump shot.
Off
Bottom of the net.
Canadian kids are doing all right.
Anderson back. They could go 2 for 1 if they go quickly here. 30 seconds to play, third quarter. Cothran to the hoop, left hand, misses that. And back will come Famatimi, one-on-one. Now up for Rush.
Oh.
One-handed flush. And you see the athleticism of Billy Rush.
Rush with the flush. That was pretty. I'd like to know what his vertical is. He is a stud athlete.
You know what, I can tell you that they've measured him at 44 here in PEI.
Yeah, that's impressive. That's the old days of David Thompson from North Carolina State. He would get up like that.
So a big-time finish there. The Mill Rats can't find the bucket late in the third quarter. Storm are pumped. Their fans are pumped. The lead is now 22 after 3 quarters of play.
Coach King is standing out there at center court looking at the score saying, what time does the bus leave, I think?
We mentioned this off the top. It was interesting to see who was going to try to set the tone, and Brandon Robinson missed the last 4 games of this season with a hamstring injury, but he came out for the Island Storm, and whether he missed or not, he set the tone that he was going to be aggressive and a force tonight.
He was going to be the man. He's done it. And again, Rush has come off the bench and done a great job. I'm a little bit surprised at St. John's. I was expecting more from Anderson. He seems to be taking a secondary role, not looking for the ball and not looking for his shots. He did the first 5 minutes of the game, and now he's sat back. And again, got to credit Storm. They're doing a great job on him.
We're in a 2-minute third quarter break here. 99-77. Back to call the fourth in just a moment. So an unenviable position for the St. John Millrats and their coach, Julian King. You're down 22. You're on the road, game 1 of a playoff series. And I guess you just try to chip away and look at like the 6-7 minute mark as maybe a milestone to have it down to 12 or 10.
Yeah, I think what he's probably looking for now is the guys that he can count on for the next game. If they don't win this one, who's going to come out and give me what you got to try and get us back into this game? Because if they don't play defense, they're dead.
Into the backcourt is Nick O'Corey, normally a shooting guard, but he can play the point. Down low for Nick Evans. Under the hoop for DeRoche.
He's in double figures, Bruce.
You know what? Having a great game,
This
the
is
graduate
super.
of UNB. And the Storm have cracked the century mark, 101-77 on their home floor in game 1. Bodies tumble.
You know, this is good for Alex, too. What it does, it gives some of the regulars a little bit more time. And in the playoffs, it's been a long season, injuries, nagging injuries. So this rest isn't going to hurt maybe the top 6 or 7. So Alex is doing a good job for in that half.
There's O'Corey trying to fight through the screen. Johnson on the top. He goes left around O'Corey. Up high, no go. Famatimi with the rebound. He will push ahead to O'Corey.
A little ragged there.
Good hands by Billy Rush. Here's DeRoche. Took a look at the pick. Chose to go the other way. Billy Rush now for 3. Front of the rim and rebounded there by
Eric Cruikshank.
Your old buddy.
That's my buddy, Mr. Air Canada. He was one of the original Rainmen. I think he's been in Nova Scotia and New Brunswick for about the last 8 years now.
Eric's a guy who you love guys who love the game.
He's a journeyman from Los Angeles, never played university basketball right out of high school. And, luckily he's been fortunate enough to play probably about 15 years of pro basketball.
Gets about 10 minutes a game here for the St. John Millrats, and a guy that never hurts you when he's on the floor.
They'll give it 150%. Not a great scorer, but can jump out of any gym and rebounds and a solid defender. And he's only 6'6", 6'7", but he'll do a job on Evans.
Famatimi now. There is Evans with Cruikshank on him. Evans goes well to his left, comes back with a hook shot. Bit strong there. That's rebounded by Cothran. He pushes. Decides to pull it back out. Heads right. There's Anthony Anderson wide open for 3. Normally that's money.
Yeah.
And it's just not their night. Under the hoop is Cruikshank. He loses the ball against Evans out of bounds. And Storm will come back this way with 10:20 to go in the fourth quarter.
Okay, Eric, stick a fork in that for me, buddy. Why don't you get a hoop before the night's over?
Full court pressure there from Johnson against O'Corey. Be interesting to see what Coach Salerno does with Brandon Robinson, who fought the leg injuries late in the season with a 24-point lead. Maybe he doesn't play the fourth quarter. We'll see.
Unless this thing gets close to 15, I don't think you'll see him. With Rush and O'Corey doing a good job, I don't think they need him. And again, hamstrings are very tender, and all it takes is a tweak, and I don't know how far they can go without him. So it would be a smart move to keep him on the bench.
I think mostly everyone would say not very. He's that important to this team. A miss there by DeRoche, rebounded by Cruikshank. Johnson back across the timeline.
I got a chance to see the Storm play the Rainmen early in December down at the Scotia Bank Center in Halifax, and I was just totally impressed with the Storm. Just as a team, they moved the ball, they played well, very unselfish, and they took the Rainmen apart. And I think I saw a little of that in this half as well. So, they're certainly, I know they've been in the finals the last 2 years, and they got a shot at it again.
Interesting that team owner Duncan Shaw, he obviously wants to bring in really good players, and he has, but he's also made it the point to bring in really good young men who can get out and read to a kindergarten classroom.
For a lot of these guys, this is their last stop. The NBA is, for most of them, they realize it's not there. So when you've got kids that not only can play but can contribute to the community, it means so much to basketball, especially in a small place like Charlottetown where, everybody knows the athletes. So I'm glad to hear that. And they do a good job, I think, throughout the league. They do that a lot in Halifax as well, the Rainmen do.
That's Cothran with the pull-up jumper. 101-80 now. And just like that, Brandon Robinson gets up, takes off the warm-up suit.
All right, so we don't know what we're talking about.
Oh, you know what? I think the coach just wants to make sure this one gets closed.
Well, again, a 21-point lead, although it seems huge, it can disappear pretty quick with some threes and a few turnovers. So
Billy Rush hard to the hoop, goes up and That is blocked out of bounds by Cawthron. Here comes Robinson for DeRoche. Good minutes for the Dieppe native.
Yeah, he's done a good job for him. It's going to be real interesting to see by the end of the game or the next day or two how Sam is and, you know, what his future is, because, again, that injury looked bad.
Well, if you missed it earlier, Sammy Zaglinski, the point guard for the Island Storm, he was carried off the court by a couple of teammates, and we haven't seen him back on the bench at all. And he was, you don't want to speculate, he was reaching around the knee and ankle of the right leg, though, so you hope for the best. There's Anderson for 3. He hasn't had the range here in the second half. Robinson back for the Storm.
You know, and that's one dribble, one pass, and a shot. No ball movement, you know, for the open penetrating kick. And the Mill Rats are just not in sync this half.
Nick Evans underneath. Teammates were saying, you got to dunk that, Nick. He was fouled going up, and they'll shoot a couple. What do you think of Nick Evans' game? He's got pretty good touch for a big guy, and he works like crazy.
He works hard. He runs the floor. At 6'10", 6'11", he seems to have a decent touch. You know, I'm sure they'd love to have 2 of these guys. You know, every team needs a kid that's going to grind it out, going to rebound for him. Doesn't look to score unless they get it into him. He doesn't complain. He just seems like an ultimate team type player.
Last year with this team too, Mick, he was 30 pounds heavier.
Yeah, so he got himself in shape.
He did, took it seriously.
Yeah.
Foul there before the shot. 8:33 to go, fourth quarter. Again, a thank you to Brett Poirier. He's your play-by-play man here on this station and for the Island Storm. And Brett's got a bit of a tickle in the throat tonight, so he said, can you come up and do a bit, Bruce and Mick? And we said, sure. And Brett's going to come up and finish the game. This is his show, obviously.
And he loves the game.
He loves the game. Yes, he does. Here's Anderson out top now against O'Corey. He loses the ball out of bounds, and I don't think this is going to go on his resume tape this game. Storm last to touch.
Coach King is shaking his head. What do I got to do here to get a call? Evans just fell asleep on the inbounds play.
Billy Rush, nobody around him, unable to squeeze it. Mill Rats will get another chance. One thing, Mick, about Coach Salerno, I can tell you this from watching him, whether he's up 21 or down as they were the other night, 31, he coaches a full 48 minutes, which is really important.
He's not going to change that. Well, I mean, the players see that. They know that, too. If you want me on the court busting my tail for 48 minutes, Coach says the same thing. I'm working this game, and probably why he put Robinson back in. We're not going to lose this one. So we're going to go after it. There's only X number of games left. We play. We lose, we're going to go home. So we've got to win every game.
Vamatimi for 3. That's off the back iron. Crookshank on the rebound. To Anderson now. He's got some open space. Hard to the hoop, up off the glass, and a good hoop from Anthony Anderson.
Now, did he play at Maine, Bruce?
Close. University of Massachusetts.
Massachusetts, the Minutemen then. Dr. J school.
Well, he would tell the story if you ask him. Every year in training camp or early practice sessions, Julius Erving would come to camp and talk to the kids, and Anthony Anderson said he was way older than all of us, but we loved hearing from the doctor, you know?
Who doesn't? You know, I mean, there's a name synonymous with basketball and the dunk, and I had the pleasure of going to a Nets camp when Dr. J was there, so I got to scrimmage with him and play with him, and he's just a nice guy, but what an unbelievable athlete, you know. And to this day, what a tremendous ambassador, still going back. He was only at UMass for 2 years, but still thinks that out of his school, and he's just one of those great guys that contribute in what makes basketball truly a fabulous game.
There's Billy Rush finishing off the three-point play.
Still a 22-point lead. And Coach Salerno hasn't sat down yet, so he'll maybe with the 2-minute mark when we're off the air, he'll have a seat.
Here's Evans leading the break. Don't think Salerno likes this, but he's going to take it. Behind the back for Rush.
Oh.
Robinson will follow that up.
Rush to Robinson, nice play.
I'm not sure that Coach Salerno loves the behind-the-back pass from his center, but it worked out okay.
It's one of those, no, yes.
Nice play, yeah. This is Robinson. He's about 82% from the foul line.
And Robinson puts it behind his back, right?
Everybody has a ritual, don't they?
Everybody's got something on the foul line. That's what you teach young kids. Get there, get relaxed, come up with a formula, something that you can just be in a moment that just relaxes you, and you shoot your normal shot over and over again.
Do you advocate taking a breath, too, when you can?
You know, whatever. I tell my kids, I don't care what type of free throw it looks like, even if they want to shoot underhand. Whatever you're comfortable with, the key to being a great free throw shooter, and this is what I think a lot of people understand, repetition, over and over and over again. When I was coaching, I tell my kids to shoot 100 a day. That's the key. There's no great success. Obviously, there's some guys that are just natural shooters, but others, it's getting in there, getting it to a routine, and shooting 100 a day.
Now Anthony Anderson, in the meantime, with a gorgeous drive to the hoop and finish with the left hand. He'll try to finish off the three-point play. That one rattles out. Saved by Birdsong into Robinson.
This is the first we've seen Birdsong. He hasn't played a lot in this half. I like him.
He'll take it to the hoop underneath for Evans. Oh. Big left-handed finish.
And he's talking some trash, too.
There's a foul on Robinson. He grabs Singleton on the outside.
Evans is fired up, huh? He's pumped up with a 24-point lead.
You know what? He plays with passion.
Yeah.
Here's Anderson. Over Evans.
Can't
find the bottom.
I don't know if he's got a bucket this half.
Couple of foul shots, but it's been tough going for Anthony Anderson. Billy Rush the drive to Birdsong. Tries to feed it down low for Evans. A steal. Back comes Anderson against Robinson. Takes a step, lays it up.
Nope. It's getting a little sloppy now. A little bit of schoolyard basketball coming in with 6 minutes to go.
Milrat's ball on the inbound. This is Anderson with Billy Rush. Double team on Anderson to Jones down low. There's your buddy Eric Crookshank, wide open duck.
Eric Canada. I think that's his first hoop today. I'll give him kudos after the game on it.
Approaching the 6-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. 109-86 for the Island Storm. Robinson now to O'Corey. You know what? He froze everybody by faking the three-pointer.
Yeah, but that's just poor defense. The Mill Rats have caved. They've given it up. That's just too easy a basket, even late in a game like this.
O'Corey watching Singleton. Behind the back, Evans out top now.
Look at Nick. Look at it working it. Now he's going to play point guard. Oh.
That's why he shouldn't. And there's the pass to Crookshank, his back-to-back dunk here in the fourth quarter. And this will be immediate timeout on the floor with 5:32 to go in the fourth quarter. Island Storm a commanding 111-88 lead over the St. John Mill Rats.
Coach King keeps walking out onto the court in the timeouts. I think he either wants to join the dance team or he wants to get a couple of free throws in himself.
Maybe just wants to get away and collect his thoughts. And so look, on behalf of Mickey Fox, we want to thank Brett Poirier for letting us sit in. Brett, you do a great job, buddy, and we know your voice isn't 100% tonight, so you take it home. This is your show, but we appreciate the time here, okay?
Well, thank you guys for joining me. It's been a pleasure.
All right, man.
We will be back here with 5 minutes and 32 seconds left in the fourth. All right, well, it's a pleasure to be back, and I thought I had the rest of the night off, but I guess I'm back on the clock right now. And my goodness, what a view Bruce has. He gets to see shots like that on the ground. Lewis Birdsong has been playing excellent for the Storm here tonight. And I hope Mickey and Bruce were saying only the best about me. I got a few texts that they mentioned my name when I was down courtside. So, always nice to be mentioned, and I no doubt probably got thrown up on the big screen for that one too, but we did it to them in the first half, so I expected it. So the Storm absolutely took off, 114-90, and it looks like they might sail on to win the first playoff game in this series. It would put them up 1-0 in the series, and then, of course, Saturday is a huge game. That game, too, will take place in St. John, and then following a 2 o'clock game will be here at Eastlink Center on Sunday. Before the game, Coach was saying that games 1 and 3 matter most in a 5-game series to him. So for Coach Salerno, he's probably going to get this first win here tonight. So game 3 would probably be the next big one. Up top! Oh, there we go. Sick, wicked, and nasty. I had to get that in there. Billy Rush. B-Rob, the facilitator, and now he's going to get a steal. Probably a clear path foul, too. So now Brandon Robinson will be taking his 2 free throws. It was a clear path foul, meaning that you get 2 free throws and the ball back. And excuse me, folks, while I'm going to be stepping on ice a little bit here. I was screaming a little bit when I was down courtside, so I'm a little parched right now. I'm going to try and clean up. There we go. I think I'll be good to go now. Only 4:23 left in this game. It has been such a show. The Storm offensively have been just too much to handle for St. John, and St. John has really gave up defensive breakdowns like that one right there. That should have been 2 points, though. If you're Jonte, you can't let that one go unfinished. You have to dunk that or just put it in as a simple layup. Jay Will with the putback. He scores it. Now DeRoche getting set to check in. He played some nice minutes earlier in this quarter and in the third. Hit a big 3. And he's such a crowd energizer. Really gets the fans excited here in Charlottetown. Singleton with the steal. He goes in strong. He's going to get his own putback and scores it. And a new experience that I got for the first time here in Charlottetown. Getting to stand, or sit, I guess, right where Coach Salerno does most of his work. I really got to hear some of the conversations he has with the officials. And a lot more civil than the folks at home probably think. They're pretty well tamed. A lot of the time it's a lot of sarcasm back and forth. The officials talk back all the time, which is something that a lot of people might not have known. The officials like to get in the coaches' ear just as much as they like to get in theirs. 118-96 now. A foul will be called. That's going to go against Crookshank. So now if you're Coach Julius King, you're going to have a few tough decisions to make. Clearly, adjustments need to be made. You can make the argument that there was some first game jitters, but you can't make the argument because they lost. Right now they're down by 22. There's some things that need to be changed. I think one of the things you look to, the Storm were outnumbering them in the paint. So you have to find a way to attack the Storm big men. That's going to be a foul that time. That'll put Singleton at the line. But if you're King, you have to just really make the adjustments necessary. Not necessarily to get up by 20, but just get the small adjustments. The turnovers, for example, were a bit of a concern for St. John, along with the points in the paint. Also a bit of a concern for St. John was just the way they managed the three-point shot of the Storm all game. They really allowed the Storm to get in their own groove. They didn't do much to run them off of the spot. They didn't do too much to double up defenders on Okori and Robinson. And both of those players had huge games. Okori 17, Robinson 20. You have to slow them down a little bit. And then off the bench, you allow Rush to get 17, Whack to get 17. Birdsong had 11, DeRoche with 9. So changes do need to be made if you're St. John. So now Famutini inside. Up top to Rosh has it. He's trapped. He gets it to Jonte. Whack is calling for it up top. 4 on the shot clock. DeRoche gets exactly where he wants to go. And now this should be exciting. We're about to see a Doug McKinney sight in here. We haven't seen Doug in several months. He was nursing an elbow injury. He had surgery to actually remove a piece of bone that had broken off in his right elbow. So at the next whistle, we will see Doug McKinney check into this game. In the corner, Famutini. Way off the mark that time. And there we go. Now every active Storm player into this ball game. So Jeremy Williams steps to the line for St. John. He's played an all right game. He's got 11 points, 6 boards. 4 of those offensive boards, shooting 50% at 4 of 8. Only played about 20 minutes in this one, though. Besides Anthony Anderson, the minutes have really been divided. Anderson around 40 minutes. And then the next up in the minute hierarchy would be Cawthron, who played 27. $1:44 left here in the fourth. McKinney's going to get right into things with a 3. That's off the mark. DeRoche throws it back up. He gets it. Here's a 3, or a deep 2, I guess, from DeRoche. Pardon me, I mean from Johnson. Superman Johnson, that is, though. And he's had a pretty solid game, too. Not shooting that well, but he got to the line 6 times. Has a couple turnovers, an assist, a rebound. He could play a little bit better, but you'll take the 6 free throw attempts. That really slows down the game in favor of St. John because St. John is a bit of an older team. They don't play at the exact same pace. They really like to get the 3 ball flowing, and that was a bit of an issue for them in this game. Only 7 of 20. The Storm, 10 of 32. Here's Whack up to DeRoche. He hit a 3 earlier. McKinney's wide open in the corner. He goes right to the hole. DeRoche trying to claw it down. And that will be a foul. It'll go against Whack. 122-101, a 21-point Storm lead. And the Storm are going to go on to break a 5-game losing streak that dates back several weeks now into the regular season. And the unfortunate part for the Storm, that was a 5-game losing streak where 4 of those losses came at home. And the first loss, actually, in that streak, came to the St. John Millrats. Another loss came to St. John while here at Eastlink Center. So the Storm will also break a 2-game slide against this Millrats team. Under a minute to play here. Whack up top. Jonte sets the screen. And now St. John really playing a lackadaisical defensive set in there. They really didn't try much that time, but the Storm really didn't try on offense either. I think this game is pretty much over, and both coaches know that by this point. So that next game in this series will go Saturday at Harbor Station, 7 o'clock, Game 2. And then Game 3 will be back here on Sunday at 2 o'clock. So make sure you're with us for that one. That will be potentially a deciding game in this series. McKinney underneath. He gets his first points of the game. And now that makes every Storm player, with the exception of Zaglinski, who went out with an injury after 7 minutes, to have scored in this game. Tamutini up to McKinney. He's going to jack that one up. He couldn't get it. And that will do it here. The Island Storm advance to 1-0 in the series. And Game 2 takes place on Saturday. Game 3 right back here at Eastlink Center. For the great crew at Universum, all the fans out there for tuning into this game, I want to thank you. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday night, and I will see you on Sunday.